brothers, and welcome to another video, and today we'll be talking about an individual called Iacton Qruze, the half-heard. It is named like that because he can't hear me when he's nearing danger, like in the middle of the battlefield, on a construction area, or even before he gets slammed by a train in the middle of the crossing. Anyways, what we know of Iacton Qruze, and as you know, he's a space marine. Of course, if you are new to the channel, I will give a brief what space marines are. Space marines are some guys who are genetically human beings about 8 to 9 foot tall and have greater enhancements like on speed, strength, and so much more. Now, compared to that with Iacton Qruze, he is a space marine. He was born on the planet called Cathonia and was recruited in the early Great Crusade to be part of the Legion that is the Lunar Wolves. Unfortunately, there isn't much to it of his accomplishments during the Great Crusade, well, as far as I'm aware of it so far, and most of his story that is interesting is the before and after the Horus Heresy. So what I know about the Space Marine is pretty simple and straightforward. He was a captain of the Lunar Wolves and served most of his majority in the Great Crusade, as he was one of the first legionnaires to serve beside the Emperor. Qruze was also the one who served in the Legion the longest, where the Legion became Lunar Wolves, the Sons of Horus, until when they became traitors. Okay, sure, there is a little complication of he's a Chthonian but he acts like a Terran, and somehow he was recruited at the start of the Crusade in before meeting the Primarch. From what I can gather and understand that Cathonia is decently close to Terra, if you check it on the map, and there would be a chance that space travel between those planets is possible. So it's most likely that Qruze have traveled to Terra and was recruited to be a Lunar Wolf. Unfortunately, we speed forwards to the Horus Heresy. Keep in mind, I'm going to keep it simple because as long as the main story is there is no extra detail needed. We have the introduction of Qruze, and mainly he's like an old veteran, just being around the Vengeful Spirit as an idol, or a symbolism of a true Lunar Wolf. Well, at least that's how I took it from it. It's because the reason Horus didn't want to retire Qruze is because he didn't want to, as he was special to him. Later on, roughly at the start of Horus Rebellion, Qruze escaped the Legion with some important people called rememberencers in a favor to do for his fellow space marine Gavian Loken. He's an important character, we will get to him next video. At some point. They got to the ship and called Eisenstein, which was commanded by Nathaniel Garrow. Very important character as well, we might get to him next time. Of course, they managed to escape from the Ispan system and they went to travel to Terra in order to give a message of Horus' betrayal. But there was a catch. An interesting person appeared, and can you guess who it is? No, it was... Obviously I'm joking, it was Rogue Dawn. They were taken aboard to the ship and Nathaniel Garrow gave some news of what happened on Ispan 3 and yeah, Dawn didn't take it too well with the message. Nathaniel almost got executed by Dawn believing these are lies and he was fucking furious, and of course, he was telling Qruze, such as with his quote,
"And why is he here? He lost."
That's part of it, but quite spicy, and if you're curious about this encounter, I recommend The Flight of Eisenstein, but I do recommend the other 2 to 3 books which leads to that book specifically. Of course though, they lived, and because the Rememberencer was able to show the evidence, and Dawn took it to heart and believed it. Well, in the hard way. After the Emperor being warned and the Horus Heresy began, plus the Ispan 5 and so much fucking more, but mainly Qruze and some other space marines became the engines of Makodor, for Makodor the Sigillite. Another important character, we'll talk about him next time. For Qruze, there isn't much he has done in the Horus Heresy, unfortunately other than being a counselor for Dawn in the short story of The Last Rememberencer. There was another mission he went with Gavian Loken to go in Caliban just to test the loyalty of the Calibanites, which from my speculation, to be honest, didn't get much out of it, but they did seem they were still loyal to them. But also, the funny part was Loken did get himself into trouble and got captured. So, Qruze had to save his ass, and there was actually so much more into that book. So, I do recommend short story, The Great Angel book. I recommend it. Then lastly, his last mission. It was to interfere the main ship called the Vengeful Spirit. The point of the mission is simple. They went there to find a weak spot and mark it with runes so they can aid Primarch Russ when he gets to that ship and board it. And by the way, the book is called the Vengeful Spirit. Yes, wow, shocking indeed. Very interesting name. They were able to do the runes, but of course they got surrounded. Sure, some of them got captured, and Loken giving a really good speech to Horus of his true loyalty to the Emperor. Now, either you read the book or not, obviously a fight broke out. And man, did Qruze gave some lessons to the beta cuck sons of Horus, which was neato. Unfortunately, even with this vast experience of Qruze's lifetime, during in the middle of the battle, Horus came right behind Qruze's back and impaled him with a power claw. With that though, Qruze, the one space marine, the original, was no more. You could say he didn't hear those Primarch footsteps, am I right? Hey, yeah, fine, I'll go fuck myself then.
Qruze, what happened to you? Oh, my lord, leprosy.
This was a bit of a casual one since there isn't much about him. Sure, battles and other details might come up to it, but this is mainly about his story from start to finish. And also another reason this is a little bit of a casual video, because it's also kind of like, hey, I'm real, you know, do not take your pills, do not take your fucking pills, I swear to. But also, hopefully I can work on something that will be maybe a little bit interesting, maybe, who knows, you know, because I do take this for a long while, so if you're here for the ride, then well, come along. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, my brothers, and take care.